Okay. So let me repeat again. We are discussing uh, cash flow statement, and we are discussing trading receipts and trade receivables. Now, trade receivables and trading receipts are linked with one another. How are they linked is we have to refer to table number 23, which specifies that for internet we have a 0 days credit period. For EU, we have 60 days credit period. And for NAFTA, we have a 90 days credit period. So this means that if I sell any goods on day one of internet, I will get the monies on the same day of the internet. Whereas, let's say if I sell any goods of Europe on day one, let's say if I sell goods of 100 euros on day one, I will get money of that on day 61. Similarly, if I sell 150 worth of goods on day two of Europe, I will get money of that on day 62, which is 150 euros. In case of NAFTA, we have a 90 days credit period. That means if I sell goods worth rupees 50 on day one, I will get money of that on day 91. Similarly, if I sell 60 euros worth goods on day two, I will get money of that on day 92 in the next quarter. So, is it safe to assume that my trading receipts in a quarter for internet will be 100%? Right. For EU, see, because we don't get a day-to-day chart that how much we are selling in a particular day, so we are gonna assume that it is gonna be 33%, right? In case of NAFTA, we are gonna assume it is gonna be 0%. So is this assumption clear? Similarly, in case of receivables, for internet, it is gonna be 0. For internet, it is gonna be 0%. For EU, it is gonna be 67%. And for NAFTA, it is gonna be 100%. So is this bifurcation clear?
Sir, this is on the basis of the number of orders in that quarter only, right?
Yeah, on the basis of sold to.
Sold to, yes. Okay, okay.
So even this assumption is not correct because it depends on your warehouse stock as well. Let's say if you have a zero warehouse stock for a particular product in Europe, so this 33% would decrease then, because that means you would have sold more in the next 60 days compared to the initial 30 days, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So, but for the calculation purposes, we are going to assume this as the 33. Now, in reality, you don't. So, how do we manage our cash flow statement? See,
Sir, you please repeat this thing.
which this part, sir.
Yes, the last. Yes.
So, in this case, sir, that means for internet 100% it is clear
Yes, sir. Yes.
because we are getting the money on the same day,
G.
right? For internet, for Europe, we are only getting the money of the goods that we sell on the first 30 days,
Yes, sir.
right? So there are 90 days, so that means 33%.
Right, sir.
This is subject to that we have a warehouse stock. So if we will not have a warehouse stock, that means we will lose the sales on the first initial days. We would, the sales will be more on the next 60 days, right?
Right, sir.
But for the calculation purposes, we are going to assume 33%.
Okay, sir. So warehouse stock is required for selling initial period, right, sir?
Yeah. See, warehouse. Just a second. So warehouse stock is required. See, like I said in the previous sessions, we cannot have a zero warehouse stock, because if you have a zero warehouse stocks, then you will be not be selling any goods, and that is gonna further, disappropriate your cash flow statement, because you're gonna lose all the 33% revenue that you are gonna get from Europe, in which the money which will come in your current quarter, because if less money will come in the current quarter, you will go into overdraft facility. Right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Now it is clear, sir.
Okay. And for NAFTA, it is gonna be zero because the period is 90 days. So all the money is gonna come in the next quarter anyway. So that's why it becomes receivables become 100% for NAFTA. Is it clear?
Means that the entire sale which will be done in NAFTA market, it will come as receivable and nothing will come in receipt, basically, in that for
See,
that quarter.
in income statement, all the revenue will be added. But for cash flow, see, income and there are two statements. One is
Yes,
income
yes, sir.
and the other
But
is cash flow. So
yes,
income
yes.
statement, we are reporting our net business we are doing in the current quarter. But cash flow is maintaining in does not mean that the money has come on the same day.
Yeah, yes, sir. That is understood.
Okay. So now let's try and calculate and match these figures, right? Now, to calculate trading receipts, that means the trading receipts of any quarter will have two parts. The trade receivables of the previous quarter, because this what becomes receivables will become receipts of my next quarter, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So first so the trade receivables in 15 quarter 4 was 886284. Right. So out of this 138, we received this 886284 which we earned in the previous quarter. Right. So minus this, we still get a difference of this. Now this was my sold to quantities. This was my prices. This is, I multiplied them, I get my revenue. And then I multiply these percentage, I get this as a figure. So it comes as 54,414.3. If I sum them up, if I sum this plus this, it comes as 143. In actually, there was 138. Basically, that means in Europe, I did not sell 33% goods on the in the first 30 days. It was less than that, maybe 30%. No, even less than that, maybe 29%. It has to be 49611. So maybe 28%. Even less than that. No, little more than that. 27.5. Let's try.
हेलो
Yeah.
सर गुड आफ्टरनून सर एक क्वेरी था कि जो वेयरहाउस स्टॉक के कारण जो सेल लॉस हो रहा है या जैसा आपने लास्ट क्लास में बताया था सो विल इट बी वैलिड फॉर यूरोप ओनली और इट विल बी वैलिड फॉर ऑल द थ्री
All the three, sir. क्योंकि because there will be a customer that will come in first week or first 10 days, and if he finds that your product is not available, like in this case, see, he will go to other company. Like in this case, the percentage that we wanted came close to 28% instead of 33%. Why it was not 33%? That 5% is lost due to a low warehouse stock that we maintained in that quarter because we were not able to satisfy the orders in the initial stage. Are we able to follow this?
यस सर
Okay. So this much becomes part of my receipts. What is my balance? My balance is this minus this, and my balance would be uh sorry. My balance would be entirety of the NAFTA. If I sum them up, that comes as 7611. It is very close to this 81 because why 81? If I decrease this, this difference would increase. So this is how the receivables and receipts are getting calculated. Now, how do we manage it in our calculation purposes? See, at the end of every quarter management report, we will give you receivables. So now this receivables are gonna form the major part of your revenue because see, 100% of NAFTA and 67% of, so basically 167% of the total sale roughly you are getting in the next quarter. Now you assume whatever product you are delivering and whatever sales you are assuming, you calculate the 33% of that for Europe and 100% of internet and add that to that actual receivables figure and you will be able to predict your trading receipts for the future quarter. Is this receivables part, is it trading receipts part clear now?
सर एक बार दोबारा से थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कीजिएगा ये लास्ट क्वार्टर का जो ट्रेडिंग रिसीवेबल्स है वहां से
Sir,
ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स
this
क्वार्टर
is
15
this
क्वार्टर
is
ऑफ
the
Q4.
this now let's say I want to predict my now this is the position in 16 Q1. Now I have to predict, calculate or preempt my trading receipts for the next quarter. So one thing is for clear, this will be definitely be a part of my receipts 818125.
Yes sir, this has come from my last quarter report.
Yeah, so this will be received in the next quarter now.
Trade receivables.
This whatever is receivables,
It is trade. Yes.
this will become my receipts in 16 quarter 2 now.
Yes. Okay.
So this is the report of 16 Q1.
I see Q1. Yes sir.
Now when I let's say when I'm calculating for 16 Q2 now,
Hmm.
so for 16 Q2 it will have this for sure,
Yes.
plus it will have 100% of internet,
Yes.
plus it will have 33% of EU.
Yes.
So this much we know for sure. This one
Yes.
we have to calculate on the basis of decisions that we are submitting, or we have to predict. Like
Yes.
whatever orders you are expecting and how much you're delivering, on the basis of that, you will be able to calculate that if these are the orders, 33% of that Europe and 100% of that internet, if what we are trying to sell in this quarter, that would
Yes.
be, that would, so this is how you will be able to calculate your trading receipts in your, you have to predict your financial statements.
Yes sir. Clear.
Got it? Any more doubt on this?
Then why it is going to affect our financial
Because you
cash
have
flow?
to calculate your cash flow, right?
Okay.
You need to see, I will come that. See, you have to calculate your trading receipts preemptive, and you have to also calculate your preemptive trading payments. Because if this is negative, then that will impact your share price, right? See, in this cash flow statement, the major portion that is occupying regularly is trading receipts and trading payments. See, insurance receipts is a very small amount, interest receipt is a very small amount. Asset sales and asset purchase is not reported in every quarter. Even these are not reported in every quarter. So it is primarily trading receipts and trading payments that are influencing my cash flow statement. So we have to maintain a positive difference between receipts and payments, right? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Any more doubt on receipts before I go? I will now also calculate trading payments, but any more doubt on this now?
Sir, the negative cash flow also affects my share price. मतलब
Of course
उसका
it will.
impact
Of course, sir. Negative means, see, negative means that we have gone into OD. So if I compare a company with a positive cash flow compared to a negative cash flow, of course, a company with positive cash flow will have a better share price, right, sir?
but
I would
that will
not say
be
it would have a better share price. I would say that a positive cash flow has a positive impact on share price, a negative cash flow has a negative impact on share price.
okay, sir.
Okay. Now let's go to payments and payables. So similarly, like receipts, we have the credit period. Similarly, for the payments, we have a credit period. So before that, next quarter, let's say I am taking decisions on 16 quarter 2. So next quarter would mean 16 quarter 2 and quarter after next would mean 16 quarter 3. Right. In this case, if I am trying to match, I am trying to calculate this figure 1105914, right? Now to calculate this figure, next quarter would become 16 quarter 1 and quarter after next would become 16 quarter 2. Now again in this case, whatever is my trade payables of 15 quarter 4, sorry, trade payables of 15 quarter 4 will firstly become part of 16 Q1 trading payments, because for 15 quarter 4, 16 Q1 would be quarter after next, which I have to pay in 16 quarter 1, right? So one part of this trading payments is this trade payables that is reported in the management reporter 15Q4. Now let's come to 16Q1. So these are the expenses that we are incurring in a particular quarter. And then they are divided in a certain percentage in each quarter. For example, in advertisement, in 16Q1, I made an expense of 75,000 euros in this particular quarter, right? Now, out of the 75,000, I pay a zero money in 16Q1, I pay entire money in 16Q2. Right. Similarly, for internet service provider, I made an expense of, so all the formulas are here. So if you go to internet service provider, I made an expense of 12,678 euros, right? All of this goes in the 16Q1 in the next quarter. Similarly, for agents and distributors, we have done. I have added two costs. One is 110673. BH8. So if you'll see, the formulas are here. I have added internet distributor cost and agents and distributors cost over here, right? Again, all of this goes in the 16Q1. Similarly, for guarantee services, we have added the cost. We have added the cost for website development. We have added the cost of personal cost. Again, for personal, we have to add. Okay. Yeah.
सर एक चीज थी नोट समथिंग नॉट रिलेटेड टू दिस बट वन थिंग इज दैट
नहीं
कि
नहीं सर, पहले let's complete this. Let's complete this.
ओके सर
Okay. So in this case, I have added the cost of this personal recruitment department, which is 9,000 euro. Right. If you'll see, you will find the formula. So I have included all these costs. Again, they all go into 100%. Similarly, for maintenance, it is 100% in the next quarter after next, sorry, and so on and so on. The only thing is we have to make sure is for materials and components, it is 50% in the current quarter and 50% in the next quarter, right? So this is basically the expenses that we are incurring in a particular quarter. Now, once I do that, I get this is the amount that I have to pay in the next quarter. And that is 16Q1, and this is the amount that will become my trade payables. So if you'll see, it is actually very close. The actual was 326696. We calculated to 334. The difference is of only of 7,500 euros that is coming in this, right? So otherwise we are able to match this, and this is how my trading receipts and trading payables are getting calculated. Any doubt on this table 24 now?
सर वो जो टॉप पे ट्रेड पेबल 15Q4 from where that figure has come 254335?
Like this is the payables of 16Q1. So similarly, I have a payables in balance sheet of 15Q4 report.
Okay, from 15Q4 report. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Any
Okay.
doubt on this breakup?
No, that is clear. Means the previous payables plus current expenses as
per
per
this
this data. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear? Okay. So if we do this, we will be able to calculate our trading payments, and we will be also predict. See, trading payments, you can almost calculate accurately, right? Because you know how to calculate all these expenses now. So this should be accurate. So then this would give me an amount. This will give me an idea that my receipts are this. My receipts cannot be more than this. And my payments are coming, let's say, in X amount. So this cannot be more than this. And then I have to keep a little margin so that I don't end up disrupting my cash flow. So once you do these calculations, you will be able to manage your cash flow statement in a very positive way, and which will further improve your company's performance. Is this part on payments and receivables clear now?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
तो ये ट्रेडिंग रिसिप्ट्स के अंदर में जो हम लोग अगर मेजर डेवलपमेंट डालते हैं तो उसमें जो प्रोडक्ट्स हमारे जो वैल्यूएशन प्राइस रहते हैं वो भी इंक्लूड होती है
वैल्यूएशन तो इट्स एन अकाउंटिंग
अकाउंटिंग
दीज आर
पर्पज
द
से
कॉस्ट. वो तो अकाउंटिंग पर्पसेस के लिए, वो तो बैलेंस शीट में इट्स गेटिंग एडेड ओवर हियर,
उसका
राइट?
जो रेवेन्यू आएगा वो यहाँ कहीं नहीं आएगा इसका
Okay, you are talking about when we launch a major. So
हाँ
तो सर व्हेन वी लॉन्च इन मेजर, अगर वो यूरोप में जितने उसमें सोल्ड हुए हैं वो यूरोप में 60 डेज में आएंगे।
ओके।
वो
नहीं
तो वो
इंटरनेट का जैसा होगा तो वो मतलब वो उसकी वैल्यूएशन प्राइस जो होगी वो यहाँ पे मेरे रिसिप्ट में आएंगे।
सर वो डे वन पे ही आपके सोल्ड हो जाएंगे,
हाँ
बट उसमें नाफ्ता का नहीं मिलेगा, इंटरनेट का पूरा मिल जाएगा। ईयू का यू विल गेट 33, ईयू का भी आपको 100% मिल जाएगा।
मीन्स मेरे को अगर अपना पॉजिटिव जो मेरा कैश फ्लो होना है, मेरा कैश फ्लो पे वो इम्पैक्ट डालेगा थोड़ा सा।
100% डालेगा सर, क्यों नहीं, बिकॉज दैट इज ऑल्सो अ प्रोडक्ट, राइट।
यस।
You have to add that because in this case there was no major. In fact, there was a major for product 2. So that means in this calculation, we have to also add for this product 2 for 9 goods revenue. But because this is in NAFTA, this will become part of my next quarter only.
ओके।
Any more doubt on this payments and receivables?
But I have a doubt regarding tax. Tax percentage is 25%. Right?
So what's your name?
Not 30%.
Sir, I will note down tax. We will cover taxes. No problem. Any other doubt on this before I move to the next topic? Okay, there was one participant that was asking me a doubt other than this. What was the doubt, sir?
Sir, it was regarding the ports, number of internet ports.
Okay,
Sir, in what the calculation I have understood कि जो हमारे number of visitors हैं, that has to be divided by 90. The total visitors which we have visited the site, they have to divide it by 90, and then जो हमारा total per day visit आ जाएगा, and उसको हम लोग 24 से करके जो डिवाइड करेंगे तो हमारे पास नंबर कितने पर आवर हमारा वो कस्टमर्स विजिट कर रहे हैं, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग नंबर ऑफ जो पोर्ट्स आने चाहिए वो कैलकुलेट हो सकते हैं।
okay. No, let's do it. Let's do it this way. Um, let's cover all the topics that the other participants have asked me the doubts about. So let's cover internet ports first. Right. So one is there is let me copy the table from the manual. Okay. So we have this table in the manual that defines the capacity of port. So what do we mean by capacity of a port? Okay. So capacity means the visitors, number of visitors per hour that are allowed on my website. So let's say if I have 5 ports, so one port is equivalent to 12 visitors per hour. So if I have five ports, 5 into 12 becomes 60, 10 into 12 becomes 120, right? But then we have a line, a row which says effective working capacity. Why is this effective working capacity phenomenon created? What is the purpose or what is the logical reason behind this? So let's say if I am operating 3 ports, right? So that means 36 visitors can visit me in a day, in an hour. So if I multiply 36 multiplied by 24, that means a total of 864 visitors can come on my website. Let's do it for 5. Right. 1440 visitors can visit my website. Now this means, now let's do the clock. Let's say we start from 0 to 01 hour. right? Then similarly, if I drag it down, we have the 10th hour, 12th hour, 24 till 24 hours in a day. Now, what this means is that we can, the website can allow 60 visitors on each hour. But what the simulation is saying is generally we have seen that in the evening hour, see, the load at midnight, after midnight at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. is not gonna be same as the load that we're gonna get at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. on the website. So that means eventually what this is what this over the historical data is has been created, that even though the effective capacity is 60, we should not, even though the theoretical capacity is 60, but we should not assume it more than 31. Why 31? Because we have to compensate for the peak visitations in the peak hours. Now, to understand this, let's go over here. Right. If you'll see, firstly, the number of failed visits are not zero, it is something 0.09993. So if this is the successful visits, then what are the total visits? That would be this divided by this. That would come as, okay, because this is in percentage, right? No, this is number of failed visits. So if these, see, this is the successful visits. These are the percentage of failed visits, 0.0999. It's not 0%, right? So the actual visits is 6897 plus this percentage of this, that, yes, now it's coming correct. Yeah. So this will be, if I round it off, this is coming to 7. That means in this entire quarter, there were a total of 7 failed visits. Firstly, is this part clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? How I calculated the failed visits. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
that
No
means,
use.
so that means there are now 3-4 possibilities. There were 7 occasions that the visitation increased to 61, 61, 61, right? Or there could be an occasion that in 1 hour there were 62 visitors, then 1 hour there were 63, and then another hour there were 62. The worst possible situation could be that there were 67 visits in an hour, right? So that means I need to, in this case, it's a clear indication. See, I would, as a company, I would like to have a 0 failed visits on my website. So that means to avoid this, I have to at least increase my website capacity to compensate for that 7. Now, if at 5 I am recording 7 port visits as failed, that means, and now if I am further increasing my business over the internet through, marketing and stuff like that, that means I would get more visits on my website. So clearly, I would need more ports than 5 ports for this particular website. Is the concept of, so let's say if I go to 6, my visits would increase to 72. But then if my 72, but then that does not mean that my failed visits would still decrease to 0, because if I am increasing my business over the internet, the failed visits, the actual visits in the peak hours might rise above 72. So is this concept of internet ports clear? Sagar ji, is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, clear, sir.
Okay.
सर इसमें अगर हम मान लीजिए हमने 5 से इंक्रीज करके 7 पोर्ट्स कर लिए, तब भी फेल्ड विजिट 0 आएंगी।
नहीं नहीं, 0 यहाँ नहीं देखना सर, यहाँ देखना।
आई अंडरस्टूड सर, वहीं पे देखना है, बट वहां पर जाकर भी वहां पर हो सकता है 0.0009 आ जाएगा।
हाँ, तो सिर्फ फिर दैट मीन्स लेट्स से अगर लेट्स से ये कुछ भी आता है, वी कैलकुलेट हाउ मच दैट इज इक्विवेलेंट टू।
तो 7 तो सर अवॉइड भी कर सकते हैं ना।
वो आपका कॉल है सर।
ठीक।
Because see, if it is 7 right now, and if you are increasing your internet business, this will increase then, sir. Right? Okay.
Sir, one small doubt here. If I increase the number of ports, does it affect my internet sales also? Means as
No, no,
like
no, no. It does
that of
not. It does not.
advertisement? It is not like that.
Only it avoids. It helps you avoid. See, it could be a possibility that, see, out of this, see, let's do a reverse maths. See, we sold these many quantities over the internet, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
That means we sold, if I sum them up, 480. That means if out of, so 480 divided by 6897, that means almost,
7%.
no, no, Hmm, sorry, 480 divided by 6897, right? And let's say if I further divided it by 10, or let's say 20, approximately, what I'm trying to say is that every, no, no, I am doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. It has to be 6897 divided by 480. That means there is one customer in every 14 visits on my website.
Okay, okay, sir.
You got it?
Yes,
So
sir. No,
if
no.
this
Okay.
number was more than, so we could have possibly lost one or two orders over here due to insufficient ports capacity.
Okay, but it is not that if number of ports are more, then customers will be more. It is not like that.
It's just that you are avoiding your failed visits.
Yeah, okay. Fine, sir. That was
Sir, there is one more question. What should be the percentage of corporate advertising in the
No, no, no.
matlab,
That is not we there is no percentage, sir. It's we are not again, sir. Uh, let's let's go back to the basics again in this case. When we are able to calculate our trading payments, and we understand how much money we can spend in a particular quarter to make ensure a positive cash flow, you will get a budget that you can allocate to advertisement after allocating most of these costs. Right, but there is no percentage in over here, sir. You got it, sir?
okay, sir.
Okay. Next out was, okay, with if internet ports is clear now. Now the next out was taxes. Right. So taxes is very simple. So what is mentioned is that your if I go to your financial statements, your profit for a year is getting accumulated over here. It is getting calculated over here. If it becomes positive, let's say whatever comes, let's say if this was negative, if in this case it is negative, let's say if this was positive, then on this positive amount, a 30% amount will be in 16 quarter four only. In the quarter four only will be calculated as tax due amount. Only 30% of this. And that 30% would also come over here only in quarter four. That would happen. Because the tax is assessed only in quarter four of a financial year. Now, this will become a part of due in quarter four report. It will become a part of quarter one report. It will become a part of payment in tax paid in quarter two report of the next financial year. Pradeep ji, is that answered, sir?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, Raghav ji asked me about the premium materials. Right. Raghav ji, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
I was just noting down is the tax is assessed in the current quarter and
No,
it
no,
is
not
paid
assessed in
in
the
the
current
quarter
quarter.
after next.
It is assessed only in quarter 4.
Okay, on the final profit, which
In the entire financial year.
only in quarter 4. Okay, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 का प्रॉफिट ऐड होके क्वार्टर 4 में उसका टैक्स असेस्ड हो जाता है, वो ड्यू में खड़ा हो जाता है और क्वार्टर 2 में जाके पे हो जाता है नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर के।
सर ये मैनुअल में क्या है,
क्वार्टर 1 में क्यों नहीं
25%
होता सर? मतलब 4 में अगर हो गया तो 1, अच्छा वो मतलब एज पर मैनुअल है।
एज पर मैनुअल है सर।
ओके ओके, क्वार्टर 4 तक जितना प्रॉफिट हुआ उस पर टैक्स असेस हुआ और क्वार्टर 2 में वो पेड होगा।
करेक्ट।
फाइन सर।
यस
ये
सर।
मैनुअल में 25% प्रॉफिट टैक्स।
नहीं सर, इट इज 30% पर एनम। लेट मी चेक अगेन।
बट एक्चुअली आई वाज कैलकुलेटिंग इतना, मतलब 30% आ रहा था जब मैं,
नहीं नहीं, इट इज 30% ओनली सर। See, I can show you the table also.
लेवल 20।
Yeah, I've copied it, sir. See, it is 30%, sir. Okay. Now let's move to premium materials. So premium materials may see we have P1, we have P2, we have P3, right? And we know that P1 needs 1 unit of raw material, it needs 2, it needs 3 units of raw materials, right? Let's say I am manufacturing 100 quantities of P, let's say 300 quantities of P1, 200 quantities of P2, and 100 quantities of P3, right?
Hello?
I'm assuming these, right?
सर आपको मैंने पहले बोला था एनटीपीसी जल्दी करने के लिए।
हाँ सर बताइए।
हेलो।
हाँ सर बताइए।
एक्चुअली मेरा बात बात ये थे, जो ये वो एक्चुअली पांच आइटम है उसमें बोल रहे 3 पीआर करना।
Okay, right. So the total raw materials that I required would be 300 into 1 and so on and so on, right? Now this is the raw material that is required basic, right? This is the basic raw material. Now let's say I take a decision that I would have a 5% premium material content over here, or let's say 2% because this is a 2% here, 4% here, and let's say 8% over here. Now, how the machine would work is it will calculate the basic and premium material content required in this. So that means out of this 300 that is required, the basic would be 0.98 of this, and premium would be this into 0.02 of this, 2% of this. Right. Similarly, for this product to 400 into 0.96, that would be 400 into 0.04. Similarly, for product 3, 300 into 0.92, and this will be 300 into 0.08. So that means I need a total of basic raw material I need is this, and the premium material I need is some of this as per this calculation. Now, make a note over here that we only need to order for basic. Premium materials are automatically bought by the company. So if we need 46, the company will automatically buy 46 on the basis of your decision of percentage, and that 46 will be used, consumed, and there will be a zero closing stock of premium raw material, right? Firstly, is that part clear? Right. And the second part that you have to understand the cost of the base premium and basic is, so let's say if this is the cost of material prices on spot, the basic raw material would be this into 1.5 times.
1 second, sir. Go to that report again. There is something written like, okay, that is for components. Not for material.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Raghav ji, is the premium material clear now?
Yes, sir. The costing is clear, but I wanted to know, sir, regarding what is the effect it is putting. Means, if I am using premium material and I am investing more, what effect I am getting? Means, how
Okay.
is it affecting my sales? It is affecting my product quality, or is it affecting my customer loyalty? How it is affecting?
Okay, okay. Let's do a simple maths over here, sir. Let's say this is my supply chain. These are the products, and I need this. In case of no premium material, in case of 0% premium material, I would have needed 1000 stock.
Yes, sir.
Now the cost of inventory was this 71,919,
Yes, sir.
right? This is the cost of my raw material to manufacture this much products in US
Yes.
dollar,
Yes, yes. Clear.
right? Now if I do it this way, I have to first divide this by 1000, right? And I am now and calculate it, multiplied it by 954.
Yes, sir. That is clear. More, I am investing more basically. Yes.
Yeah, right. And for 46 would be 46 into this divided by 1000 and multiplied by 1.5 times, right? The total cost that will come up now is sum of these two.
Yes.
That means ideally we have to do it for each product. That means for a delivery of 600 goods, the inventory that would have costed me 71,000, it is now costing me minus this, it is costing me 1654.
Yes, sir.
In
Extra.
fact, it is the extra cost that we can calculate. It is equal to 0.5 times of this multiplied by this divided by 1000, because it is 1.5 times. So this is the cost of six raw. I will put this as dollar and right. If I sum them up, it is gonna match 1654 only, right?
Mm.
So
Yes.
this is the cost that I have paid for per product. Now this 215 I have paid on 300 products, right? So at 2%, if I don't increase my prices, my expense is gonna increase by 0.7 euros.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, this is the cost that is increasing. Now, because you know that the price is sensitive, see, so you have to follow the chain. We have done the cost of production analysis, so you are able to actually calculate what is it costing you to manufacture your goods, right?
Yes. Yes. Even the margin we can calculate how much
Even the
margin.
margin you can calculate, and even now I told, if you remember, I told that I did it for the income statement. You should do it, break it up for the administrative expenses as well now.
Yes, yes. That was also done. Yes.
You are able to do it now. Now you add this cost also over there.
No, sir, but what is the benefit I am getting if I am using premium material? What benefit I will get in comparison to the other brand?
It cannot be quantified because see, one is it's an interactive decision. So let's say there is C1, there is C2 company, that there is C3 company, and there's C4. Let's say
Yes.
everything else is constant. And this one has 0% premium material, this one has one, this one has two, this one has three. So this would
Yes.
be
Yes.
the more preferred product in the market, right? Let's say everything else is constant, right? Because
Okay.
there are so many factors that I cannot see. Let's say if this has 3% premium material, but his marketing budget is 50,000, 50,000, and let's say his is 30,000, then he will have advantage over here.
No, keeping other things same means it will be bring me more orders
Correct,
basically.
correct. Of course. But then we have to also consider the cost factor as well.
Okay, okay. Means
And
it
then
will bring
it is
more orders, but I cannot
And then
means
let's do a business point of view as well. Let's say all the other companies are at maximum at 2%. Let's say even if I do three, let's say I do three, I get advantage. Right.
okay.
Right. Now let's say if I don't do four, it's not gonna that advantage is gonna increase that much. See, even if I was the best premium material content product at 3%, I will be at 4 also, I will be at 5 also.
Yes, sir.
You
Basically,
understand
it
it?
is similar to advertisement, basically.
Yeah,
Similar
it
to
is
advertisement.
similar, but there are two problems. One is we have to see zero, a percentage is better than zero. I'm gonna say that it is better. We should not keep it zero because, uh, but then keeping it very high. Let's say if I increase, for example, let's say if I keep it to 10%, right? So this becomes 9, this becomes, the cost increases to 3.6 euros irrespectively.
Yeah, per product.
And if I am correct, your profit margin on product one will not be more than 10, 20, 30 euros or something like that.
Yes, sir. So basically, if I am using premium material and my competitor is not using premium material, I will get more orders, keeping
Yeah,
other things same.
keeping other things same. But then it is very realistic that you will have other things same.
Yes, yes.
See, these are variables that we have given to improve your product quality. Now let's say if you wanna see, you could also there is another argument to this. Let's say if one is selling to 320 and I am selling at 321 and he's selling it at 0% and I am selling it at, let's say, with 2% premium material,
Yeah.
then see, it's algorithm based, but this one will have advantage then.
Okay, this one will have advantage, no? Okay, sir. Means even at higher prices, he will get
But
more
then
orders
again,
because
subject to other things are constant.
subject to other things are concerned. Okay. Even if the prices are more, he will get more orders because he is using premium materials,
Right.
managing his cash flow also.
See, the pricing, even if you would have realized by these many rounds that 320 and 330 are comparable prices in the simulation. The customer does not react that differently to these prices.
Yes, yes. Basically, the lowest one and the highest one has a major effect, which I noticed. If I am the maximum price and then it has major effect.
Okay. Right. So I think this one is clear. The
Yes,
next
yes.
one, it's very interesting, and I think it's very important for us to learn also, is what is the difference between term loan and overdraft? Can anyone tell me the differences between term loan and overdraft?
Yes, sir. It was covered last session also, sir. Yes.
Okay, I have discussed. Okay, okay,
Yes, sir. Actually, my doubt here was in the decision sheet, sir. Here, one decision is the term loan
okay.
here in the finance.
Hmm.
If I put something in the here term loan, then it will be added in my working capital or my other capital. Like suppose my cash flow is negative and I use a term loan, so will it help my cash flow or not? That doubt I have.
Okay, let me ask you a question, sir, regarding this, and you will
Yes.
be, and this will be answerable to you. Let's say I am I have to run my houses, I have to manage my day-to-day expenses, and let's say my salary is X, my expenses are X plus. Is taking a loan to run my day-to-day expenses advisable?
No.
Okay. On the other hand, let's say my for a particular quarter or for a particular quarter my salary was X, my home expenses were X plus. So I have two options. Either I borrow some money from my bank or I go to my family relative or someone. I say कि I want you to lend me this plus amount for 2 months and I will repay you and I will control my expenses in my next quarters and I will repay you back. Which is the better decision, sir?
The second one, sir, taking
So
it.
that is the overdraft. We do not, okay, even in India, if you'll see the products that are as loan, we have auto loan, we have gold loan, we have home loan. All are asset, all are related to a asset realization that we are doing Like we are buying an asset, and in that, and which is an expensive asset. Now, in buying that asset, the bank is supporting us that we are financing, let's say 65%, 70%, 80% of that, and 20% we are putting our own capital so that our current cash flow does not get exploited.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was clear. But one thing I have, sir, like in the round two, sir, we were having the issue that our overdraft was going into unauthorized overdraft even, but we were unable to know how to get means how to support my cash flow. Then there
So
is
that's why
no
we did this.
decision.
We
Yes,
did this calculation today, right?
yes, yes. Means this calculation will now have. Okay.
That's why we
Because
did
there
this
was no
calculation.
decision like I can push the cash in my working capital somehow. There was no such option.
No, no, the cash is already there in the working capital, right? Which cash you want to push? See, the decision is the only cash you can push is the one that is blocked in FD. So you have a decision. You can issue what cash you want to. The cash is there in the net cash. It's there, right? So this is getting added in your
Yes,
receipt.
sir. It was negative actually. Cash balance was negative and it was even more negative than the overdraft limit even.
So
So it
then
was
that will
going to
go to
unauthorized.
unauthorized. One is, see, understand. Cash can never be negative. Now, OD is a facility that bank has created that it sets a negative limit to my account, that if to that negative limit, I will finance that amount at a certain rate of interest.
Yes, sir.
बट सर इसमें जो टर्म लोन है उसमें हमारा इंटरेस्ट रेट कम है, ओवरड्राफ्ट में इंटरेस्ट रेट ज्यादा है।
नहीं सर, इट्स द अदर वे राउंड।
ओवरड्राफ्ट में कम है।
ओवरड्राफ्ट में कम है सर।
Sir, I have a doubt regarding term
ओवरड्राफ्ट में
loan.
नहीं है ना सर,
Sir,
इंटरेस्ट रेट जो है सर।
if you want, I can copy the interest table for rate of interest over here. Hold on a second, sir.
यस सर।
Sir, if I take a term loan in one quarter, can I repay it in the second quarter? Is there any possibility?
Okay. Uh, I will answer that in a nice way for you, sir. Let me first clarify on the rate. So overdraft is 4% base rate plus 4%, and term loan is fixed at 10%. Right, sir? Okay. So if the
हेलो।
base rate, yeah, if the base
हाँ
rate is 1%, so overdraft is base 1% plus 4%, which comes as 5%. And term loan is fixed at 10%. Right. Now coming to the next out, which is why we are not able to pay the term loan back. Okay. Let's understand this. So, can I know the name of the participant that asked me this out?
Himanshu.
Himanshu ji, off the record, and we are all friends. Have you any EMI or anything in your account?
No, sir.
Okay, so you are debt-free man in this. So now the banks are greedy, sir. Whenever they give a loan, there is a clause in business loans that uh, the repayment schedule. So let's say in India, a common practice is that you cannot repay more than 25% of principal in one financial year. In real life that I have seen, banks put this clause, right? Also, there are clauses that you cannot pay this amount at least to in first 3 years of the loan, right? You can only pay after 3 years. Why do bank have these safeguard? Why is bank disallowing this early repayments of the loan? Because if the customer pays the loan back, how will he see the revenue of the bank is interest? Now, if bank is putting some money, it wants to hold a security कि मुझे उतने टाइम तक तो एटलीस्ट मिनिमम उतना इंटरेस्ट तो मैं कमाऊं. If these clauses are not here, it could be a scenario that I buy a loan, I take a term loan for my short-term gain purposes and repay them back. In that case, the money that the bank invested, the revenue that it anticipated is not generated for the bank.
Sometimes banks take penalty for paying early, sir.
Correct. But that is Let's say there are foreclosure charges. Let's say there are 4% foreclosure generally charges in India. In fact, I can say this now. I lost my father on this year on 20th of August, and he had a EMI in his account. Now, if I am trying to close that EMI, they're asking me a 7% foreclosure charges. That's the reality. Because why those charges are here? Because bank, if any loan is getting repaid earlier, the bank is losing its interest business revenue that it is calculated. Now, in this scenario, because we are taking decisions only, see, in any of the history reports, we are not never gonna give you a loan with a loan, right? We are always gonna give you with the zero loan. Now, in any of this scenario, because you are running for only 5 decisions, so there is no purpose of repayment now.
Okay, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have few more doubts on my chat boxes.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, one doubt I have.
yeah.
Sir, can I take the term loan to pay my unauthorized overdraft? Because unauthorized overdraft interest rate is more, I think,
Yeah.
10 plus base rate.
See, normally when you are going to unauthorized, that means the company is doomed. Now, when it is doomed, it's like you have to try. Yeah, I mean, logically it makes sense. But from the competition point of view, if you're going into unauthorized overdraft, I feel very little that can be done because by that time the share price would have drastically come down. But from the business point of view, what you are saying is making sense.
Suppose I am going in the unauthorized overdraft and for this competition, in the last decision I take loan
Yeah, but
for the
then
last decision.
that's what I'm trying to say. If you
Yeah,
are going into unauthorized overdraft, that means your decisions have totally reciprocated. Your company has doomed. See, we are giving you a huge overdraft facility. And then we are giving you a fixed deposit as well. After utilizing all these funds, we are still going into unauthorized. That means we have completely run into losses. Is that answered, sir?
yes. Okay.
So even if we take a term loan, I don't think from the competition point of view, we will be able to survive in the competition or qualify for the next round. Unauthorized overdraft, even though it's a facility, the facility is there so that the business is never stopped due to a shortfall of money. That's why it's there. But the moment you go there, I believe it's over for the company. Right. Then we have some doubts on the chat box. Saket ji, if you want to raise your doubt.
Yes, sir. Overdraft interest calculation, sir. Interest calculation was not matching with what was given in the.
Because that 5%, if you'll see, okay, I know why it is not matching is this is annual rate, sir. So we have to divide 5 by 1.2 by 4, which will come as 1.25.
Yes, sir. But sometimes it was coming out 0.75%. Sometimes it was coming like
Okay,
that.
because why it was coming is because the overdraft, the interest rate is calculated on the limit that is utilized on daily basis, right? So it could be a scenario that we used this overdraft limit in the last 30 days only. So then we pay interest only on the 30 days amount. So you don't need to worry about that much. Got it, sir?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Next out we have is insurance premium is calculated. Okay. I believe I have shared this calculation in briefing session 1, sir. So if we go through the calculation of briefing session 1 Excel sheet, I think you will find the calculation of insurance premium over there. It's very simple. So there is nothing much to explain in this, right? Okay. Any more doubt before I move to the valuation part?
The FG inventory calculation was also not matching. Like
Which inventory valuation?
Finished good inventory.
We will do that. We will do that, sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, I wanted to know that do we have any control over the products that are being rejected?
No,
Like, is
no
there
control.
okay, that is simply calculated by the simulation, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, even though this valuation calculation is not that helpful, we are doing this calculation. I will draw two outcomes from this calculation, right? But to draw those two outcomes, I will show you how the calculations are taking place first, right? Assume this is my closing stock of raw materials, components is 0. This is my closing stock of products, right? This is the shift level I'm operating at. This is the assembly time. This is the inventory price in dollar in the last quarter. This is the exchange rate. This is the component cost. And I am doing this calculation at 0% premium material, right? And this was the values that were reported in my balance sheet, right? Now let's try and calculate first for the, for the materials inventory. So for material stock, it is mentioned that 90% of the lowest of the spot 3-month and 6-month prices quoted last quarter converted into euros times the number of units, right? So 90% of the lowest. So we know that the lowest is going to be 6-month only. So I have copied the 6-month value. 6-month, 90%. So the formula is very simple. 0.9 multiplied by E113, which is this price, divided it by 1000, multiplied by 1720, multiplied by the exchange rate. I get this, which comes as 93583, which is almost close to what was actually reported, which is 93582. So this is how we have calculated for the materials inventory. Now, here is the first inference that I wanted to record. Whatever stock that I am keeping in my closing inventory, in this materials purchased, it is, if I am buying it at spot, the valuation of it is getting at a very discounted rate, and that too at a 90%. Right? That means maintaining a huge inventory stock will lead to losses in this particular income statement purpose. Is this statement clear?
Sir, one small doubt here.
Yeah.
The inventory which we are saying material inventory, we take decision for spot 3-month and 6-month.
Correct.
So that 3-month and 6-month order also is calculated in the closing inventory value or not?
Yeah. So even see, so you are losing only 10% on 6-month, you are losing more percentage on 3-month. Basically, the difference is getting used up from your income statement, from the in form of an expense.
Okay, but valuation will be at the current quarter value only, means the minimum of 6 month, 90%
The
of
minimum
this.
is gonna be 6-month only.
Yes, yes. Oh, so it will be an expense. Okay, okay.
Right. Now, why I will tell you why this, why I told. So there is a reason why I said this statement. I'll tell you why I have said this statement, right? Let's hold on to this doubt. Let's see for the components now. For the components, it says these are valued at purchase cost, the range of which are shown in the last quarter's management report. In this case, because it was 0, so we did not, there was no, let's say if this was 20, then the component inventory valuation would be 2480, 124 multiplied by 20, which would come as 2480. Now here is an interesting part. In case of components, this cost is including of raw material. Now, this component is getting valued at 100% of the cost. Whereas if I am manufacturing in my factory, I am straight away losing at least 10 to 20% on the materials. So basically, due to valuation, whatever I am losing, in case of valuation for components, I am gonna lose zero in my income statement. Because whatever is gonna getting added here in form of expense, it is gonna get reduced, that same value is gonna get reduced over here. Whereas in case of materials, the value that is gonna getting reduced, it's gonna be at least 10 to 20% lower than what I'm getting actually paying for the purchase. Is this first outcome of valuation clear? Is this first inference that we made clear?
Repeat, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, the cash flow which will go from our statement for the 6 month in material, that will be from present quarter, or
No,
it will be
as per this table, 50-50%.
okay from the present quarter and the next quarter.
Yeah.
It wouldn't come in the third quarter. Suppose we are paying for the 6 month after, then it will it will be deducted from the present quarter only.
Okay. Now coming back to the doubt that sir asked. Sir, can I get your name, sir, first?
Vineet.
Okay.
Vineet,
No,
sir.
no, the previous one.
Deepak.
Deepak ji, please tell me if you were able to follow the first objective. Let's say if I am
Yes, yes.
buying goods of 110 materials, it is getting the less value, it is coming as 90.
Yes, yes.
Right. So I am losing 20 euros over here. Right.
Yes.
Whereas in case of components, if I am buying components worth of 220, my less closing inventory will also have 220.
Yes, sir.
I am not losing anything due to um, uh, the difference due to the because in this 220 is also including of materials. Because in
Yes.
case of components, I don't need to buy materials for them. Right. So after,
So
hello.
that sir, closing inventory is including our material inventory plus component inventory, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say
Whatever is left in our stock.
let's say I have 100 and okay, let's put this way. Let's put 90 back over here. So if I have 220 components worth of good and 110 of materials, they would be accounted to 310 in less closing inventory.
Yes.
Let's say if I keep zero stock of materials and I only do subcontracting, maximum subcontracting, this difference would be reduced, which will increase my profit.
Yes.
Did you got it or not, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. So this was the first inference that I wanted to show, that why subcontracting is better, because it will help us in this accounting adjustment that is taking place through valuation.
Sir, what my doubt is that why you have taken that material stock valuation as a lowest? Why? Because actually, if we are purchasing like a spot on 3 months, the 3 months, the price should be taken from that particular thing. Like for a spot, their price different.
We have given a formula, sir. The simulation, it's a predefined formula.
बट सर इसमें जो मटेरियल की इन्वेंट्री है, मान लीजिए मैंने 1 लाख का मटेरियल खरीदा, उसकी 90,000 माइनस होगी इस क्वार्टर के अंदर में, तो नेक्स्ट
90
क्वार्टर
नहीं
में जब
होगी
ये
सर, और कम होगी, बिकॉज 6 मंथ से होगी ना वो कैलकुलेट, और
हाँ
आपने
ठीक है,
खरीदा स्पॉट पे।
85,000 अराउंड 85,000 होगा, लेकिन जब ये 6 नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में जाएगा और मान लीजिए मेरे को वहाँ पे मटेरियल, जो मेरा बचा हुआ मटेरियल है, अब मेरे को कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है मटेरियल परचेज करने की, तो मेरा 85,000 ही माइनस होगा टोटल सेल्स में से। तो मेरे को तो जो माइनस हुआ तो वापस अगेन गेन हो गया, और अगर अगले क्वार्टर में
बट
प्राइस बढ़
कैश
जाएंगे
फ्लो
तो
में
मेरे
तो
को
15,000 का लॉस हो गया ना सर। बैलेंस शीट में
कैश
तो
फ्लो में हो ना।
15, बैलेंस शीट में तो 15,000 यूरोज का लॉस हो गया ना सर।
तो उससे क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा सर?
सर उससे ये आएगा, सर ये वी हैव टू सी दिस, सी व्हेन वी आर गोइंग इनटू अकाउंटिंग, अंडरस्टैंड दिस कंसेप्ट ऑफ वैल्यूएशन। इफ तीन चीजें हैं सर, लेट्स गो इन ईच स्टेटमेंट वन बाय वन। लेट्स फर्स्टली वी हैव अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस, व्हिच इज द फर्स्ट पार्ट दैट आई वांटेड यू टू
नहीं
अंडरस्टैंड।
सर, ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में तो वो प्रॉफिट में बदल जाएगा, तो हमें अगर फिफ्थ क्वार्टर का देखना है तो हम पहले से उसे क्यों मतलब फिफ्थ क्वार्टर में वो प्रॉफिट में रिजल्ट करेगा, इसलिए वो
ये फिफ्थ फिफ्थ क्वार्टर में मेरा जो, मैं इसको मटेरियल को इस तरह से लेके चलूंगा कि मेरे को फिफ्थ क्वार्टर में मटेरियल परचेज ही ना करना पड़े।
और उससे जो स्टार्टिंग के पहले 4 क्वार्टर्स है, उसमें जो कंपनी जो सब कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग और कंपोनेंट्स में जाएगी, जिसको लॉस ही नहीं होगा, उसका वहां पे प्रॉफिट ज्यादा आएगा सर।
बट सर उसको तो
लास्ट में
जो
तो प्रॉफिट कम
मटेरियल
हो जाएगा सर।
नहीं नहीं,
लास्ट में तो उनका प्रॉफिट कम होगा ना सर।
नहीं नहीं सर, बट उससे
मेरे लिए
जो
प्रॉफिट
स्टार्टिंग
बढ़ेगा।
में, सर इनकम स्टेटमेंट में आपका प्रॉफिट, लेट्स से एक कंपनी सब कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग ज्यादा कर रही है और एक कंपनी इन हाउस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ज्यादा कर रही है, तो
हाँ।
उसका वैल्यूएशन जब तक वो मटेरियल्स ऑर्डर करेगा, लास्ट में जाके मैंने आपकी बात मान ली, वो एडजस्टमेंट हो जाएगी।
नहीं, दैट्स ओके, वो ठीक है कि हम लोग उसको मतलब कंपोनेंट ज्यादा बनाने हैं, बट मेरे को मशीन्स भी तो मिनिमम
हाँ,
आवर्स के लिए
अब
अरेंज
अब
करना ही
आप
करना
अब
है ना।
आप आओ सर बैलेंस शीट पे। नाउ कम टू बैलेंस
हाँ।
शीट।
हाँ।
बैलेंस शीट में मेरा कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंस ये रिपोर्ट आ रहा है सर।
हाँ।
अगले क्वार्टर में मैं इस मनी से कुछ इन्वेंट्रीज बनाऊंगा सर।
ओके।
इस मनी से मैंने जो 100% मटीरियल में जो खर्चा करा, वो मेरा एसेट में सिर्फ 90% आएगा या 85%,
हाँ।
बट
हाँ।
कंपोनेंट्स का मेरा 100% आएगा ना सर।
बट सर मेरे को जितने कंपोनेंट बनाने हैं, मान लीजिए मेरे को 1 क्वार्टर तो मशीन रन करनी है ना, वो
करनी है
ये
सर, वो
मिनिमम।
तो वो तो वो तो सभी के साथ है।
हाँ, तो उसी हिसाब से मैं उसको मैनेज करके चलूंगा कि भाई मेरे को उतना ही मटेरियल खरीदना पड़े, नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में जो 5 में जीरो हो जाए, और बाकी चलता रहे इसके अंदर में मिनिमम जो
नहीं
मेरे को
नहीं
करना
नहीं
है।
नहीं नहीं, दैट मीन्स हमें मैक्सिमम 6 मंथ पे खरीदना है, ताकि
हाँ
मेरा
मतलब
जो लॉस हो रहा
मैक्सिमम।
है डिफरेंस का, वो कम हो सर।
हाँ, मैं वही कह रहा हूँ ना कि मैंने एक बार तो फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में मेरे को परचेज करना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि मेरे पास इन्वेंट्री नहीं है।
फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में तो
बाकी
आपको
इसके।
क्वार्टर और 3 मंथ भी करना पड़ेगा,
हाँ,
बट
3 ईयर्स।
इवेंचुअली हमें 6 मंथ पे जाना है।
हाँ, वही मैं कर रहा हूँ, हमको तो खरीदना तो 6 मंथ वाली करनी है, और वो भी थर्ड क्वार्टर या तक ही परचेज करना है, उसका तो परचेज भी नहीं करना है।
हाँ, तो उसको एग्जीक्यूट भी तो करना है ना सर।
हाँ, वही उसी के हिसाब से आपको चलना पड़ेगा, कि उतना प्लानिंग करने के चलना पड़ेगा कि हाँ उससे ज्यादा परचेज ना करना पड़े।
तो इट्स इजियर सेड देन डन ना सर।
नहीं, ये तो है क्या।
Theoretically, we have understood the concept. That's my logic to
यस।
teach you, sir.
हम्म।
But once you start getting into execution of it, it is not gonna be that easy, sir. Let's say, वो because you can never predict the rejected. लेट्स से वो 1,000 से ऊपर एक और क्वांटिटी 5-10 भी पहुंच गया, फिर वो 10% ऊपर बहुत डिफॉल्ट में चला जाएगा।
बिल्कुल, तो बचा हुआ माइनस हो जाएगा, 90% में वो हो जाएगा
So it is easier
ना।
said than done, but let's go through this. That's what you have
ओके।
to figure it out.
यस यस सर।
Okay. Now, product is for each product 100% of the total cost calculated as the material content, values as the above formula, plus 65%, which is basically we are accounting of the machinist wages that we are paying, plus the assembly wages that we are paying. Add these three costs multiplied by 110%. Right. So this was my material inventory, product inventory, right? So the raw material content in this is 135 into 1, 9 into 2, and 8 into 3. Right. I have done that over here. The same formula that I applied here, I have applied here. I get the value. It comes as 9,630 euros. Now, this was my assembly wages. This is my machinist wages. The machining would be, I have divided it by efficiency as well. You know these now by this wages multiplied by assembly time adjusted with the efficiency, converted into hours, again divided by 60 to convert minutes into hours, multiplied by 4, multiplied by E8. E8 is your quantity total products, multiplied by 1.33. Why 1.33? Because of the shift premium, because I'm working in shift 2. Right, I get my machining wages 5890. Similarly, I have done it for product 2. Similarly, I have for product 3, I get 7080. For assembly, again, assembly wages, which is E40, 12 euro, multiplied by the assembly time converted into hours by dividing 60, multiplied by total products. I get my assembly wages. I get these. I sum them up. I sum all these three quantities up. I get 22695.13. The actual was 23568. So we are very close to what was actually reported. Right. The possible reason for the difference is, I think what the simulation is, um, is I am not sure. I am not sure, because the possible reason for this is maybe the difference in the raw material prices of the, it is taking the previous raw material prices, or it is taking the spot raw material prices. But even if we do this way, we are gonna predict the actual cost of this. Now this calculation is very important, because with this calculation I can now predict how much, if I take a major decision, what is the value or what is the revenue that I am gonna earn against the warehouse stocks that I'm gonna sold off due to the launch of major. So is this inventory calculation clear?
हेलो सर, आई एम अभिषेक स्पीकिंग।
या
सर, जो हम लोग ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं 3 मंथ्स और 6 मंथ्स पे, तो जो हमारा इनकम स्टेटमेंट में है उसमें जो टेबल दे रखी है उसमें बोला है कि 50% इस
वो कैश
क्वार्टर में
फ्लो
ऐड
के
होगा।
लिए
तो
है सर, वो कैश
अच्छा, वो
फ्लो।
कैश फ्लो के लिए है, बट इनकम स्टेटमेंट में पूरा अमाउंट ऐड होगा।
ऑफ कोर्स सर, बिलिंग तो उसी
एंड
क्वार्टर में हो गई ना, तभी तो वो डिस्काउंट दे रहा है आपको।
एंड अबाउट द इन्वेंट्री, क्लोजिंग इन्वेंट्री वैल्यू, तो जो टोटल जो हम लोगों ने एडवांस ऑर्डर कर रखा है वो भी हमारे क्लोजिंग इन्वेंट्री में ही आएगा, 3 मंथ और 6
6
मंथ
मंथ्स ना। हाँ हाँ हाँ, बिल्कुल आएगा सर।
और वो आएगा जो हमारे जो पीछा लास्ट क्वार्टर जो बीता है उसका 6 मंथ्स, मतलब जो स्पॉट जो भी वट एवर बी द लोएस्ट।
करेक्ट, जिस क्वार्टर में वैल्यूएशन हो रही है उस क्वार्टर में लोएस्ट।
ओके ओके सर, थैंक यू।
तो मतलब सर, सपोज मेरा जैसे नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर आ गया तो उसमें प्राइजेस बढ़ गए, तो मेरी जो ऑलरेडी इन्वेंट्री है उसका वैल्यूएशन भी बढ़ जाएगा,
और अगर घट गए तो घट जाएगा सर।
और घट गए तो घट जाएगा। मतलब वैल्यूएशन इज डायनेमिक, मतलब वो ऐसा नहीं है कि
इवन इन रियल लाइफ ऑल्सो सर।
रियल लाइफ आल्सो, यस इट इज
गोल्ड का
दैट।
देख लो सर, गोल्ड का डेट चेंज होता है, तो जो ज्वेलर्स होते हैं उनको डेली अपना वैल्यूएशन मैनेज करना पड़ता है, कितने का उन्होंने इन्वेंट्री अपने पे हैंडल कर रखा है।
ओके।
ओके, एनी मोर डाउट ऑन दिस वैल्यूएशन नाउ?
सर, अगर वो वैल्यूएशन बढ़ेगा तब तो फायदा होगा ना कंपनी को।
बट आपने देखा ये कितना डायनेमिक है कि कॉन्स्टेंटली रिड्यूस नहीं हो रहा, कॉन्स्टेंटली इंक्रीज नहीं हो रहा।
सर, जैसे मटेरियल है वो
तो
तो
सर
हम
ये तो
एडवांस में।
होता भी है ना सर रियल लाइफ में, शेयर
हाँ।
प्राइसेस में जो कंपनी, जैसे मान लो अगर हमने किसी कंपनीज के स्टॉक खरीद लिए, उसकी वैल्यू बढ़ रही है तो मेरी वैल्यू बढ़ती है ना सर, वो वैसी इन्वेंट्रीज के साथ है।
सर, जैसे मटेरियल इन्वेंट्री है वो तो हम एडवांस में बुक कर रहे हैं कि हम 6 महीने बाद डिलीवरी होगी, लेकिन कंपोनेंट्स में ऐसा नहीं है ना। कंपोनेंट्स में तो आपको
नहीं, बट
अगले क्वार्टर में
कुछ
डिलीवरी
टीम्स
होगी।
हैं सर जो बल्क में कंपोनेंट्स ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं स्टार्टिंग में।
हाँ, वही मैं पूछना चाह रहा था। नेक्स्ट यही था कि अगर मैं पूरी प्रोडक्शन प्लानिंग जैसे सारे डिसीजन की एक बार कर लूं और फिर कैलकुलेट कर लूं कि मुझे टोटल कितने कंपोनेंट्स की
लेट्स से
जरूरत
आपको चाहिए एक क्वार्टर में 2000,
है।
आपने कर दिए 8000।
जी।
अगर कंपोनेंट्स की प्राइसिंग गिर गई तो
हाँ।
उतना डिफरेंस आपने एक तरीके से एक्सपेंस में लॉस कर दिया आपने।
जी जी जी। तो मतलब पूरा एक साथ खरीदना ठीक नहीं है, मतलब सर इससे तो यही लग रहा है।
नहीं, वो मैं नहीं कमेंट करूंगा सर,
नहीं सर, इसमें मेरा एक डाउट है सर।
क्योंकि सर उसमें रिस्क है ना सर। अगर बढ़ गए तो दिक्कत है, घट गए तो फायदा है, वो अदर वे राउंड, सॉरी, बढ़ गए।
बढ़ गया तो फायदा है, घट गया तो लॉस है।
नहीं बट सर इसमें मेरा एक डाउट है सर। मैं सर क्वार्टर आफ्टर नेक्स्ट के कंपोनेंट अभी कैसे ऑर्डर कर सकता हूँ? अदरवाइज तो मेरी प्रोडक्शन ही नहीं होगी, क्योंकि पहले तो प्रायोरिटी हमेशा कंपोनेंट को देगा ना सर वो।
Just to make this competition more interesting, and what few teams are doing, it's not about, just to make it more interesting. Let's say I maintain a low component count of one of the product and ensure that this product I manufacture 100% from my machining.
Oh my God. Okay. Got
That's
the point. It is product wise. Oh.
okay. So is the concept of valuation clear?
ये बात है।
सर जो सारा खर्चा होगा, मतलब जो भी हम डिसीजन ले रहे हैं उसका जो सारा खर्चा होगा वो मेरे जो अवेलेबल कैश है उससे पे होगा ना। अगर उससे मैं ज्यादा कर देता हूँ तो मैं ओवरड्राफ्ट में जाता हूँ।
Correct. Okay.
ठीक।
Let's move to the final part of the discussion, which is the investment performance. And this is what we are most curious about, ki how this one variable is getting calculated. So in this discussion, you're gonna see I'm gonna predict how to calculate investment performance very accurately. Or I'm gonna teach you how the investment performance is getting calculated so that you can take your decisions accordingly. You will not be able to calculate it because you cannot predict what is gonna be the share price. So you cannot do the predictive calculation. But I will tell you how it is getting calculated so that you know what are the factors to consider and analyze in this, right? Now, this is the data. This was 16Q1 data. We understand the formula of investment performance is market valuation minus value of shares issued plus value of shares repurchased plus dividends. Now, this is a table. I will create this table again for you live in front of you, right? So that you get the feel of how the calculation is taking place. I'm gonna erase the entire data out of here, right? So it's there, but just to make it more interesting for you, I will create. So let's start with the history quarter of 16Q1. In this quarter, they did not issue any shares. So if they did not issue any shares, the value of shares would be zero. The value of shares issue is zero. The share price that was reported was 108.01. The share capital was 4 million, right? The market valuation. So the formula of market valuation is share capital into my share price. Sorry, this has to be divided by 100 because this one is in cents, right? Dividend, I paid zero. So if I paid dividend zero, then my value of dividend paid is zero, right? Now, what is the formula of investment performance? It is market valuation minus value of shares issued plus value of shares repurchased plus dividends, right? So we are going to put the formula is market valuation minus value of shares issued plus dividends, right? It comes as this. What was actually reported in the market share was this, and the difference that was actually reported and what we have calculated is zero. Now let's move to the, so what I am copying over here is a decision that was taken by one of the companies in one of the rounds a few years back. So it's not in current year. It's few years back. So I have taken it one of the historical data of the decisions they took and how that influenced the investment performance in this, right? Now this company, they took a decision to issue 10% shares or 4 million shares in the next quarter. So what would be the value of shares that they have issued? This multiplied by this divided by 100. Please stop me whenever you are not able to understand a particular variable, right? Now, at the end of this quarter, the share price that this company got was 110.05. My share capital would become this plus the shares that I issued. My market valuation would become this multiplied by this and divided by 100. Right. In this quarter, they did not pay any dividend. The dividend paid was 0. So the value of dividend paid is 0. Now my investment performance, I copy this formula. My investment performance comes as this. The actual that was reported was this. And if I see the difference is of 1080. So it is not that a significant difference that was reported. The difference, I believe, why the difference is coming is there is an algorithmic variable which is accounting your company's performance over here, that is being done over here. But if you'll see through this calculation, the difference is not that significant that we need to worry about this difference, because you can see we are more or less able to predict our investment performance, how it is getting calculated, right? Now let's move to the next quarter. In this quarter, again, they did not issue any shares. So that means the value of shares issued is 0. The share price that was reported at the end of this quarter was 126.52 for the company. Right. Now my market valuation, my capital would remain the same. My market valuation would increase to 556 because of this increase in share price. My dividend they paid was 0. Dividends paid was 0. My investment performance now is market valuation minus value of shares issued. So we have to take all the values that we have issued in the past plus value of dividend paid including the past. This will come as 513. Now, can you see that they did not do any share activity? They did not pay any dividend, and this was the actual that was reported. So now the difference is, if I take the difference, it is 2162. Right. In fact, if I add the difference, so now the difference, let's stick to A. What I have done is I have added the difference over here. Sorry, I have to subtract the difference over here. So that, because this difference that was reported, I have deducted over here. Now, in this scenario, in 16Q3, I have not done any share activity. I have not paid any dividends. But because I increased my share capital and my share price is increasing, my investment performance has increased. So clearly, so that means if we can increase our share capital by increasing share price, my investment performance is increasing. Are we clear till here? Any doubt till here now?
Yes, sir.
सर अगर शेयर प्राइस गिर जाता तो क्या होता?
Okay, let's do it over here. Let's say it goes to 104. It will come down.
बट सर शेयर प्राइस जो आने वाला है वो तो हमको पता नहीं ना.
Correct. So I am, sir, that's what I said. We are understanding how investment performance is getting calculated. So you will get an idea on how to improve it. You will not be able to calculate it. We are doing reverse engineering over here. You can understand it this way. Okay. Let's move to the next quarter. Again, 16 quarter 4, they paid 0 issued shares. The share price was 135.3. Because they did not issue any share, the share capital remains the same. The value is 593. This time they paid a dividend of 4%. So 4% dividend would mean is this divided by 100 into share capital. Right. Now, what is my formula of investment performance? Share capital minus value of shares issued plus value of dividend paid. $569,1760. Right. What was actually reported? It was 569. What is the difference coming? 2087. Again in this one, I deduct the difference that I got in the last quarter. Again, we are pretty close to what we are actually getting in every quarter. Right. Next quarter. Again, they did not do any share activity. 0. The share price increased to 139.45. No share capital. So the share capital remains the same. The market valuation increases. This time it was 6%. So this was the value of they paid. If I copy this formula, plus this, and I minus the previous difference. Right. What was actual that was reported was 6104. Now the difference is again comparable. Right. Finally, in the last quarter, they again issued 10% shares. So this into 0.1 they issued. If they issued, this was issued at this into this divided by 100. Right. The share price that was reported was 144.09. Right. The share capital becomes this plus 484. My market valuation becomes this. They paid 12% dividend. The dividend value becomes this. And my investment performance formula now becomes this. The actual that was reported is this. And now if I calculate my difference, it comes this. So only in the last quarter, due to your company's performance, the simulation is creating a little difference in the investment performance. Basically, you don't need to worry about this difference. What we can see is we are 98%, we are 99%, something like that, we are able to calculate our investment performance. Is this calculation of investment performance clear now? Now, I have told you how it is getting
Only the last quarter. Why there is huge difference? 54,000 is not a small number.
Yeah. It's because see, this is an algorithmic variable, sir. Again, in comparison to this 54,000, in comparison to the value of it is almost negligible, sir.
Yet in the previous quarters, it was very much negligible, 1,000.
Yeah, I don't know that, sir, because the algorithm is designed in a way that in the final decision we are accumulating the entire work basically to keep that long-term effect in the competition, so that this variable is getting calculated. My understanding is that let's say I destroy my company for 4 quarters and do something good in the final quarter, this difference would be low.
Sir, how are you calculating
Just a
dividend
second, sir.
paid in the
Just a
last
second,
quarter?
sir. Just a second, sir. The previous participant that was asking me the doubt.
Now, please proceed.
Hello,
Sir,
sir.
may please proceed.
Yeah. So how this difference is coming, even I am not 100% sure about it. But over the years, what I have seen, see, because even I have not seen the algorithm, but over the years, what the simulation is trying to do is for every work that you have done in the 5 decisions, it is compensating in this final decision in some way. And the algorithm is same for everyone. See, what is mentioned in the manual is that investment performance is inclusive of this. It is not entirety of this.
Sir, actually, my doubt is in the same lines.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
As my thinking. Sir, how are we calculating dividend paid in the last quarter? Are we calculating it with the share capital in the previous quarter or in the current quarter?
No, on this 440. Okay, I must have done it wrong then. Yeah. Correct, sir, correct. It will be H42. Oh, that's why it's coming like this. I did a mistake over here. That means this is wrong. I did a mistake over here. I think China Tambi sir, now your doubt is clear, I believe so, sir.
Should you revisit the formulas in all the cells? 90.
Sorry, sir?
Should we revisit the formula entered in all other quarters?
No,
Wherever the
in all
dividend was
others it
paid.
is correct, sir. See, over here it is because we did not pay any dividend over here. All others it is correct.
Okay.
सर दैट्स मीन्स अगर हम लास्ट क्वार्टर में अगर शेयर्स इशू करेंगे, अगर लास्ट क्वार्टर है कोई भी, तो हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट परफॉर्मेंस कम हो जाएगा।
Why, sir?
सर इसमें जैसे अभी इसको 139.45 कर देते हैं लास्ट क्वार्टर के शेयर प्राइस को,
हम्म,
तो
ओके
ये सेम ही रहना चाहिए था। अब ये और शेयर्स, अच्छा शेयर प्राइस
मैं
इंक्रीज,
इसको भी
शेयर्स
6 कर
इशूड
देता हूँ,
इंक्रीज हुए
चलो
हैं, इसलिए वो ठीक हुआ।
मैं इसको भी 6 कर देता हूँ।
अच्छा ओके, शेयर्स हमने एक्स्ट्रा इंक्रीज किए, उसकी वजह से वो बढ़ गया है एक्स्ट्रा। ओके ओके ठीक है सर, दैट्स क्लियर।
नहीं, सर, होल्ड ऑन। दिस विल कम सेम, आई टेल यू व्हाई। बिकॉज उसमें ये वैल्यूज माइनस हो गई ना सर, ये वैल्यूज ऐड हो गई और ये माइनस हो गई, इसलिए डिफरेंस आ गया। लेट्स से
नहीं, अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट परफॉर्मेंस का जो फॉर्मूला है अगर उसको देखा जाए,
हम्म
तो उसके हिसाब से ये है कि जो शेयर्स हम इशू करते हैं
नो
उसकी वैल्यू माइनस होगी।
इन्वेस्टमेंट परफॉर्मेंस का फॉर्मूला ये डिफाइन कर रहा है, बिकॉज इसमें क्यूमुलेटिव इफेक्ट है ऑफ द वर्क दैट वी आर डूइंग, कि जितनी जल्दी हम डिविडेंड्स पेना स्टार्ट कर पाएंगे उतना हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट। सर देखो ना, ये वाला जो डिविडेंड मैंने पे करा, ये इसमें भी जुड़ा, इसमें भी जुड़ा, इसमें भी जुड़ा।
नहीं वो ठीक है, जो शेयर इशू और रीपरचेज वाला है,
हम्म
ऊपर में जो फॉर्मूला आपने दिया हुआ है ना,
हम्म
उसके अंदर में शेयर से रिपर्चेज कर रहे हैं, उसकी वैल्यू जुड़ जा रही है इसके अंदर में, और इशू वाली कम हो रही है, माइनस हो रही है।
सर बट वो फिर कैपिटल भी तो बढ़ा रहा है ना सर।
हाँ दैट्स वो ओके, हम
वो
मैं वही कह था
कैपिटल को
कि ओके।
एडजस्टमेंट है सर, जो आपने इशू करके कैपिटल गेन कराई उसका एडजस्टमेंट है। फर्क शेयर प्राइस और डिविडेंड से ही पड़ रहा है सर।
हाँ मतलब इनसे इशू और रिपर्चेज से बहुत ज्यादा
अगर
फर्क
एट द
नहीं आएगा।
एंड ऑफ दिस राउंड सबकी शेयर कैपिटल 484 ही होती है, लेट्स से, तो
हाँ,
डिफरेंस शेयर प्राइस और डिविडेंड से ही आएगा।
और ये दोनों क्यों बढ़ेंगे? डिविडेंड तो चलो हमारा डिसीजन हो गया, शेयर प्राइस क्यों बढ़ेगा?
वो तो हमने सर लास्ट क्वार्टर में सेशन में डिस्कस करे थे ना, फैक्टर सारे।
हाँ नहीं वो क्या थे?
इट मीन्स रिटेन अर्निंग का इसमें यहाँ पर कोई वो नहीं है ना, इफेक्ट नहीं है।
सर रिटेन अर्निंग्स होगी तभी तो डिविडेंड दे
कोई
पाओगे
तभी
सर।
डिविडेंड पे होगा मतलब लाइक। सर इसमें मेरा एक डाउट था, आई हैव अ
Sir,
डाउट।
basically, the beauty of this variable is everything that you are doing is getting compensated in this one variable. That's why we created this variable.
सर स्टिल आई हैव वन डाउट,
हम्म
लाइक इन सेकंड लास्ट क्वार्टर।
सर एक सेकंड, आपसे बिफोर टेकिंग डाउट आउट, वो सर का एक डाउट था जो पहले, सर दैट वाज।
नहीं हो गया सर वो क्लियर।
गो एट दीपक जी।
Sir, my doubt is that, like in second last quarter, if our retained earning, cumulative retained earning is still negative, like even if we have positive retaining in this quarter, but previously we have a negative retained earning.
We cannot pay dividend.
So overall, it is negative retained. So we cannot issue dividend na, for that
Correct,
quarter.
because dividend is paid on the first day of the next quarter.
Okay, but it is not on previous quarter only, na. It is a cumulative retained earning.
Sir, retained earnings by default, this variable, you see this variable in the balance sheet, it is cumulating the entire profit till now from the start of the company. So it is
Okay.
on the basis of this variable that we have to pay dividends. If this is positive
Okay.
only, then you will be able to pay.
Only then we will do. Okay. And so, like if we do that some share repurchasing here in second last quarter like that, then can we see the effect?
Okay.
Because only
Let's see.
share issue
Let's
effect is there.
let's do it this way only. So we have this data I have over here. Now let's say if considering this same share price growth, let's say I bought back first into minus 0.1. Right. So the value of repurchase would be this into this divided by 100. This would come here. My value of share capital would be this plus this. Right. This will become my this. My dividend would be G42. Right. And this will be my investment performance now. And now if I issue, now what you wanted to see was if I issue 20% now.
Yeah.
This becomes my value of shares issued. This is correct at the new share price. This is correct. Market valuation is correct. This becomes my this will change to H42. This becomes 6842. Right. This becomes 6842. And the difference now is 52,800. Do you know why this 52,800 has gone down? Because of this difference that I have lost on dividends. Did you got it? Did you follow me?
Yes,
Or
yes, yes.
in fact, I did a mistake over here. If I paid 12% in this scenario, but in this scenario, when my share capital has increased, when my share capital is reduced, I will be able to pay more dividend. Let's say I pay 16% dividend. Now I am able to pay 16% dividend. Right? Understanding?
Okay.
See, if this was over here, I paid dividend on 4.4 million shares.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will pay dividend on 3.96. So this percentage would increase from 12, right?
Okay.
So if this we are increasing, then the effect will come into positive. Then my investment performance is increasing. Let's say, for example, even if we are able to increase from 12 to 14, my investment performance is increasing by this simple act of repurchase that we did by 26,400 euros now.
Okay. But we have to increase the dividend percentage. Only in that case, we can get higher investment performance.
Yeah, because I am doing a little cheekiness over here, right? I'm decreasing my, see, by repurchasing, I am reducing my dividend expense as well. And this will increase my profit. See, I paid at 12%, I paid 52,800. Let's do this to 13. So 13, I am making losses. So either I will go 14. If in 13 it will have no advantage, in 14 it will give me an advantage. And it could be a possibility over here. I am not able to. Why he paid 12 was maximum, because he might have not been able to go to 13 because of the high share capital in the last quarter. So you have to do this calculation accordingly.
But this dividend percentage is limited to our retained earning, na, sir? We cannot go beyond that, our retained earning. So ultimately, our percentage is decided by our retained earning.
Correct, sir. But let's say let's do it this way. For this company, the retained earnings I paid, my retained earnings was 52,000, more than 52,000, 5.28, 500, my retained earnings was more than 528,000. That's why I was able to pay 12%.
Yeah.
Let's say my retained earnings was 5,60,000. Right.
Mhm.
If I go to 13%, it is not possible.
Yeah.
Now, if this is my retained earnings, if in this scenario, I can go to 14%,
Mhm.
right? So now I have two effects. One is this increased dividend percentage, plus my investment performance is improving in comparison to this scenario.
Only in those scenarios where we have retained earnings so that we can issue more dividend.
Yeah, I am, sir, even if the retained earnings was less, we will not be able to get 12%, right?
Yes. In that case, our performance will drop.
But we cannot issue more than 10% if our in the starting of quarter we have less number of shares.
Yeah, correct.
Suppose quarters
No, you
17
can issue
Q1
20% like I showed. You can do this. I bought back 10 and then I issued 20%. We can do this.
But in the starting of quarter, we have only 3960,000 shares only.
No.
So from this, we can deviate only.
Okay. No, it's about the closing financial position. I closed 16 Q4 in 4.4. So that means in 2017, my in capital can be between 396 to 484. I can buy back. You got my point, sir?
Yeah.
Chinatambi ji, your hand is raised, sir. Go ahead, sir.
The moment we reissue or repurchase the shares, how will it will affect my share price in the market?
Okay. So I think I covered this, but let's do it again. Let's understand this. See, if I have this huge surplus of cash balance positive, let's say, right? One is I don't have a positive cash balance. I repurchase, go into overdraft or something like that. That will not have a, see, repurchasing has a positive impact on share price. Issue has a negative impact on share price. That is prescribed. Now, the question that you are asking me is, sir, this company issued shares from 108, they issued shares. See, the share price, still the share price increased. Not that significantly, but it increased because of the other things like the profitability of the company increased, its cash reserves increased, it made it turn into positive and other stuff like that. That improved, that's why. But even if you see that the increase is not significant, so because whenever we are issuing shares, even in this scenario, see, if he's able to pay 12% dividend, that means his revenue is increasing a lot in the future quarters. Even in these quarters, if you'll see the increase in share price is not that significant because of the issue. So issue has a negative impact on share price, repurchase has a positive impact on the share price. But how do we counter that negative and positive? How do we counter the positive impact of repurchase? So if in the process of repurchase, we destroy our cash flow, right? Then that has a negative impact. If in the process of issue, with the money that we have gathered from the market, if we are able to increase a profit and if we are able to grow, see, this was a growing company from the starting. So issue in a growing company will not have a negative. Let's say if the share price from 126 started to decline over here, let's say it came to 115, it came to 109 now. Now issue over here for the shareholder, this will have a negative impact now. Is it clear, sir?
Yes, very much, very much.
Okay. I think with this, I come to the end of this session. Any doubt, I am available if you want.
Sir, one thing I want to know, sir, regarding, sir, these machines to buy and machines to sell.
Okay.
Sir, while taking the decision, it will definitely means help in my production capacity. But what things I need to care regarding my financials? Means how will it
See,
impact my
machines to
financial
buy is
statement?
a very easy decision. See,
How,
one
sir?
is ideally by now you should have realized that we have agreed that subcontracting is a better way than buying more machines, right?
Yes, yes, that is clear. But
One
just
is,
for learning purposes.
yeah, so but still, if you remember in the last scenario, basically, let's do this discussion. The idea, if you would have realized, is in the last scenario, it was advisable that we should have sold our machine, especially in the starting and move towards subcontracting. Why? Because if you would have seen our efficiency has had gone below 90%, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it this way. Can any team that did not sell me their machines, I'll do a simple basic calculation of maths for them. Can anyone team quickly send me their last management report of the last round, and I'll do some calculation provided is if they did not sell any machine. Is there any team among the discussion that can send it to me? If not, okay.
Sir, actually, we did not sell any machine, but
So what is the question?
Okay, forget about it. Forget about it. Let's see in this.
What's the need for selling of machine actually?
Yeah,
Actually,
the
इसमें तो
need is
60,000 rupees extra लग रहा है ना?
yeah. That's what I'm
And
coming.
we are not getting any value also.
Sir, how to send the quarter report?
No, don't worry. By WhatsApp, if you can. Let's. It not required, sir. I'll do it right now. Let's say why was just how do we calculate whether that 60,000 expense is good or not? Let's say हमें एक क्वार्टर में हमने लास्ट टाइम 60,000 का हिट लिया, right? If I am correct, the efficiency was below 90% in that particular scenario, right?
yes.
Right. So in the next scenario, it would be, let's say, 88. The next scenario, it is 86. The next scenario, it would be 84. Or let's say 80, 85. And let's say 84. Right. Now, the time for product one is 60 minutes, 60 minutes, 60 minutes, 60 minutes, and 60 minutes. Now, what is the actual time that is coming? That is coming is this divided by this percent. Right. Now, if I had taken this call to sell my machine over here in the first or the second quarter, let's say if I had taken this cost to sell it on the first quarter, or let's say in the second quarter, let's forget about this. Now, on any product of product one that I'm machining at my factory, let's say if from 88, because if I had sold my older machines, let's say my now machine efficiency, if you see, even I have seen it had increased to 95. Let's say if I'm increasing it to 93, 91, and let's say 90 now. Right? Because when I will sell a machine, my machine efficiency would increase. That means the amount of time that I am able to save is this much minute in this product. In each quarter, this is the amount of time I am able to sell. Now, let's say if I am manufacturing 1,000 goods over here, 1,000 goods over here, 1,000 goods over here, 1,000 goods over here, right? And I am assuming that my wages are 12.2 average. So my machinist wages is into 0.65. So what are the wages that I am selling? And there are other costs also that I am saving, but let's calculate the wages only.
सर वहां पे शायद फॉर्मूला थोड़ा सा गलत हो गया सर,
किधर यहाँ पे?
-7 आ रहा है ऊपर। हाँ सर, 60 डिवाइडेड बाय 95 होना चाहिए। ओके
Okay. So the total machining time that I need for them is this into this. Right. Now I convert this into hours. Are you following the calculation that I am doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This I converted into hours. So these are the actual extra hours that I have done on this my old machine compared to if I had sold them. Right. Now we can do this 290, 293 as well, but let's do it this calculation, right? Now if this was the wage rate, so how much have salary have I lost? I have sold this multiplied by 4 because of 4 machinist multiplied. Let's say it is let's say it is all on Monday to Friday, and let's say we are working on shift 2, 1.33 multiplied by this wages, which I will put with a dollar sign. Right?
Actually, it got 48, not instead of 4.
What is the sum that I have lost? 13,845 euros on 1,000 units at this calculation.
Okay.
So if we had done this calculation plus I will add if with that money that I am getting, let's say if I sell it for 2 million, right? To this, if I am getting and if I am getting it in my cash flow, and let's say if I deposit this amount, let's say worst case scenario, either I am in an overdraft. If I am not in overdraft, if I sell this, I will put this in my OD overdraft and earn an interest of 1% on this. Divided by 4 plus 4, this 5,000, this interest. I put 10 extra. Yeah, this 500 I will earn for the next 4 quarters plus this 2,000 euros interest that I will earn by selling the machine. And by this difference, I believe that the actual if we had sold off that machine, and also we will add the cost of difference that we are making on the subcontracting, that will be different. So we have to see whether that percentage would come equal to that 60,000 or not. And this is not this is the only the machinist wages part. Then we have to also consider the fact of, see, these are the number of hours we are coming, right? You remember we did the machine running cost as well, which is also dependent upon on the number of hours. So we add that
Yes,
cost
yes,
as well
yes.
into that.
It will be much more than 60,000, sir. If we take
More or less, it will be close to that 60,000. So basically in last quarter, the decision was appropriate decision was to sell few older machines because they were very old. And then we have to also consider the fact that the depreciation that is getting added in my expenses of it. Right? We forgot that. Even if you'll see in that 13,000, see this depreciation part. This is the depreciation that is getting deducted from my profit against 4 machines. So I am also adding approximately add that 7,000 into 4 quarters of the depreciation that I am gonna gain in as profit.
Does we get any value after selling the machine?
Yeah, you will get that. See, this is the machinery value, right? So
yes.
Divide, you will not get what the value of this is divided by 4. Divide by 4 is the average of the valuation of all the machines because some may be older. But understand, okay, let's I forgot to do this part. Let's say we did this calculation over here, right? What was the difference coming? It was coming sum of all this. Sorry. 13,000 I save here, then 2,000 I save here on the interest that I earned with that fixed deposit. Now, depreciation, let's say the depreciation of it is depreciating of approximately 6,000 in every quarter that I am losing on depreciation on an average multiplied by 4, it comes as 24,000. Plus I add 5,000 for the other miscellaneous expenses that are coming. If you add this up, it is coming. So this is how you will be able to take a decision appropriately in this.
No, sir. My question is, what is the scrap value of the machine? Just like we are purchasing in 3 lakhs per
No, it will be sold at
machine.
the
If
current
we
value.
sold them, then they will sold at the depreciated value or
It will be
some other
sold at the
value.
depreciated value, sir.
Okay, depreciated value will come into the account and we can do it. ये
It
पहले
will
दिन
come
होगी या
here, sir.
महीने
It
के
will
लास्ट में?
come here. Asset sales.
अच्छा सर, ये वैल्यू जो होगी ये फर्स्ट डे पे हो जाएगी या फिर आफ्टर द क्वार्टर एंडिंग होगी?
This will be in this quarter. Current quarter will be added over here.
मतलब आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ द क्वार्टर लास्ट डे, मतलब
मतलब अगर आप
इन दैट
16
क्वार्टर
क्यू
वी कैन
टू
यूज
में
दैट
सेल
मशीन
करोगे
फॉर।
तो 16 Q2 में ही पैसा आ जाएगा।
नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ सेम क्वार्टर के अंदर में हम उससे उस मशीन से प्रोडक्शन करने के बाद में डिसमेंटल होगी या
नहीं नहीं
बिफोर
नहीं नहीं
स्टार्टिंग
नहीं नहीं
प्रोडक्शन
नहीं
डिसमेंटल हो
स्टार्टिंग से
जाएगी?
डिसमेंटल चालू हो जाएगा, वो मशीन को यूज नहीं कर पाएंगे हम।
दैट्स वाई वो। ओके
Sir, I have one doubt. Like if we could increase the machine efficiency, then what is then there will be no logic of selling the machine.
So you cannot increase machine efficiency, right? How can you increase machine efficiency over here?
Like doing the PM plant maintenance.
No, 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 no. That is not gonna increase efficiency because see, the age is by the age they're deteriorating. In fact, another cost that I forgot to add in the previous calculation is the machine overheads, which was 3,500 per machine, right? So 3,500, if I multiply it by double by 4 quarters, again this 14,000 is also needs to be added there. But it depends on scenario to scenario because in the last scenario, when we gave you such a deteriorating company with a very low efficiency, the calculation would have made sense to sell off the machine.
सर मशीन सेल करने से एसेट्स रिड्यूस हो रहे हैं, उसकी वजह से शेयर प्राइस में नेगेटिव इफेक्ट नहीं आएगा?
सर बट वो जो एसेट रिड्यूस करके मैं यहाँ पे ये मशीनरी का नॉन करंट एसेट्स रिड्यूस कर रहा हूँ, करेक्ट, मेरा नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट आएगा, बट मेरा कैश इन कैश इक्विवेलेंस बढ़ेगा। जो यहाँ से घटेगा वो यहाँ इंक्रीज भी तो होगा सर।
ठीक है सर।
Sir, I have a doubt regarding dividends. सर हमारा जैसे अर्निंग्स पर शेयर अगर पॉजिटिव भी है तब भी अगर रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स नेगेटिव है हम लोग डिविडेंड नहीं दे सकते।
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट।
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
ये how can we forecast the demand? Means कि demand कैसे बढ़ रही कैसे घट रही वो चीज कैसे
सर वो ये क्वेश्चन ही गलत है। ये बेसिकली
अच्छा
ये क्वेश्चन इसलिए गलत है कि कभी भी कोई कंपनी इवन इन रियल लाइफ ऑल्सो वो अपने प्लांट को रन करते हैं, अपनी फैक्ट्री को रन करते हैं कि भाई हम इतना माल मटेरियल, आप हिस्टोरिकल डेटा एनालाइज करते हो, हिस्टोरिकल डेटा को अपने फैक्टर्स के साथ अलाइन करके लेट से मेजर कर रहे हैं तो इसमें हम सप्लाई ज्यादा करेंगे जितना हमारे प्लांट की कैपेसिटी से है। एक उसमें एक कॉन्शियस और एक अब ऐसा नहीं है ना सर, यहाँ 967 आ रहा है तो अगले साल में अगले क्वार्टर में मैं सोचूंगा ये ऑर्डर 1500 हो जाएंगे ऑल ऑफ अ सडन, जिसमें कि मैं क्वार्टर मेजर भी नहीं लॉन्च कर रहा, समथिंग नहीं कर रहा, या क्वार्टर 4 से हम क्वार्टर 1 में जाएंगे तो हमें पता है कि ऑर्डर्स कम होने ही होने, क्वार्टर 4 से क्वार्टर 1 में जाएंगे, फिर भी मैं सप्लाई बढ़ा रहा हूं अगर, तो वी अंडरस्टैंड द फैक्टर्स दैट आर इन्फ्लुएंसिंग इन डिमांड उसको अपनी प्रोडक्शन कैपेसिटी से मैच करके हम एक डिलीवरी प्लान बनाते हैं कि भाई उस कैपेसिटी को हम ऐसे डिलीवर करेंगे, राइट। अब वो डिलीवर के बेसिस पे हमारे को ऑर्डर्स आते हैं, जिससे एक हमारा नेक्स्ट उस एक्सपीरियंस से हमारा अगले फ्यूचर राउंड्स के लिए पर्सपेक्टिव फिर से बनेगा। अगर किसी प्रोडक्ट में हमें ग्रोथ मिलती है, किसी चीज का पॉजिटिव आता है, तो उससे हमारा तो वो, अगर सर वर्स्ट केस सिनारियो में नहीं बिका तो वेयर हाउस में हो जाएगा, वेयर हाउस में हो जाएगा तो मैं उस क्वार्टर में, अगले क्वार्टर में उसकी प्रोडक्शन कम कर दूंगा, बैकलॉग में आएगा तो बढ़ा दूंगा।
ओके
गॉट इट सर?
ओके सर, गॉट इट। एंड सर, ये जो पीछे जो ये सारे क्लूज आते रहते हैं कि फ्रैक्शंस डिस्कवर हो गया एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स, वो सब क्या, मतलब व्हाट दे डिफाइन?
सर बेसिकली
यस।
दिस इज द न्यूज ऑफ बिगेस्ट न्यूज इन द लास्ट क्वार्टर। ओके।
तो जी।
The implication of that could be, so one is, it is mentioned in the manual, is that it might be or it might not be related to your company. One is right.
ओके।
Right. Now, upgrading the quality of goods to offset the advances of the opposition has become good management strategy. So basically, the report is indicating that uh, customers is quality centric. You know, we need to focus more on product quality because that's what working in the market.
हम्म।
So we have to read that as a biggest news of the last quarter and draw an assumption like your fraction. Now, basically, if I was you, if I was a player, the draw from that, now I understand. Now if how that is related to this companies, that means US NAFTA was importing some energy.
हम्म।
Now, fraction is a form of energy. So if fraction is happening, that import of energy would be decrease.
हम्म।
If that import would decrease, that balance of external trade would increase.
हम्म।
Balance of external trade would increase. That means the money that people, that the demand in NAFTA would increase because there would be more money in NAFTA compared to the money that is leaving NAFTA.
हम्म।
So that's an inclination that NAFTA would be a growing market. Is a growing market.
ओके ओके।
Could you please repeat, sir, for that part?
Okay, so fraction is a form of energy. So that means NAFTA is importing energy currently through oil, natural gas, because NAFTA region, even geography, does not have many, like it is still an importer of energy, right? So now if fraction is discovered, the imports would reduce. Let's say the imports of natural gas would reduce or oil would reduce, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If that would reduce, then balance of external trade would increase.
Mm-hmm.
That means that people in NAFTA have more money. The purchasing power, or that the NAFTA is growing market. There is more potential to increase business in NAFTA because it's getting, there is more money in NAFTA. Did you follow it, sir? Okay. With
सर
this
वन
we
से
come. Okay. With this we come to
सर
the end of this session. And so all the best for round three. The login credentials have already been shared. 32 teams from here will qualify for the next round. So top three will directly qualify, and then we'll select two teams with the highest investment performance. So 32 teams will move to the semi-finals. So and now the timelines are decreasing. Yes, Deepak ji, go ahead.
Sir, one question. Actually, in this round, we have very shortage of time actually. I think 1 day gap or there is no gap.
Because I have full confidence that by now your ability of taking decisions has improved and you would not need that much of time. Yeah, the time will decrease, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Deepak ji, another doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead. I think we have one more participant with same name.
जैसे हम लोग शिफ्ट 2 से शिफ्ट 1 जब लोअर कर रहे हैं ज्यादा मशीन खरीद रहे हैं सर,
ज्यादा
उसके
मशीन
बाद
खरीद रहे हैं।
अब मशीन हम लोग ज्यादा खरीद रहे हैं शिफ्ट 2 से शिफ्ट 1 में। एक मिनट। हेलो। The doubt is that like we are profitable only in shift 1 na, when we are using that Monday to Friday.
Our cost is minimum in
Effective.
shift 1 Monday to Friday, yes.
Yeah, even in shift 1 because we are paying the premium shift na in shift 2.
Correct. Shift premium as well, yes.
So whenever we are reducing our level from shift 2 to shift 1, our that worker are also reducing, machining worker, and some are left. So they are not matching with the total machining like in previous this round 2.
Like in
That
this
was
one,
not matching.
let's say it was 27 over here, right?
Yeah.
So next means we need 32. So 5 will be recruited automatically.
Mm-hmm. No, like if we reduce shift
आपको मुझसे वो report भेजना, then we will discuss that.
Okay.
Without seeing it, I will not be able to comment, na sir?
No, he's saying that sir, if you shift from shift 2 to shift 1, automatically half the machinists will be
dismissed.
reduced. Yes, sir, dismissed.
हाँ.
So, and if I in that quarter
No,
or
but
next
not
quarter,
half. Half of the half will get dismissed first.
Yes. Sir. They will reduce, and if I buy a new machine also for the next quarter, then how will the machinist that gap will be fulfilled?
So the dismissed will stop, na? Those
Okay, sir.
मतलब उतने पे dismiss नहीं होंगे सर.
Okay, sir, I will share my report, then we will just share discussion. Sure.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. All the best for round 3. And let's see what are the 32 teams that qualify for the semifinals. Thank you. And I will share the recording and the Excel sheet very soon with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.